2020. I see you. Good Sunday morning, Facebook and YouTube. How you doing? I am Kendrick, the sports guy, and you know what time it is. It's 11 a.m. It's time to talk a little sports here at Kendrick Sports Social on YouTube and on Facebook. And I'm also live on TikTok at Kendrick Henderson 51. And this is quite a few people already in the chat over here. I see you, Ken. Good Sunday, too. You got to speak, Robert. Appreciate the like. Appreciate that. Miss J, I believe. Thank you for popping in. Again, we're talking our Sunday's wrap. We're talking Sunday sports. We're going to wrap up the week sports headlines. We're going to be talking about in our first segment the NBA Finals. We're set. The Pacers and the Thunder is going down. Got that. And then our second segment, we're going to give you the update on this Pelicans Zion Williamson civil lawsuit. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well. But I'm here on YouTube and Facebook. Again, I am live as well on TikTok. If you haven't followed me on TikTok, make sure you go over there, Kendrick Henderson 51, and check me out. Also, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel here on YouTube. That's Kendrick Sports Social as well as TFG Sports Media. Follow them both on Facebook, and also you can follow me on Instagram at Kendrick1969. So make sure you come here and like, subscribe, share this to all your social media platforms. And I got to do what I always do. I got to talk to my Wi-Fi connection because, damn it, it always likes to have some hiccups. So, okay, Wi-Fi, again, I'm going to try to say this nice to you. You come in here, you don't touch nothing, sit down, get you a drink, and damn it, behave. All right, Wi-Fi connection. You hear me? I think it heard me today. So we're going to see what happens. So again, let's go ahead and jump right into this thing. The NBA Finals is set. We now know who is going to be the next champ. Obviously, there is not going to be a repeat champion with the Celtics getting bounced. So we're going to have a first-time NBA champion between the number 1 seed Oklahoma City Thunder, formerly known as the Seattle Seahawks, and the number 4 seed Indiana Pacers. It's going down. Robert on TikTok says, go Pacers. We had that Eastern Conference Final Game 6 last night that I watched. Yep, the Supersonics, formerly known as the Seattle Supersonics, Peanut. Not Seahawks. You're right. I said Seahawks, didn't I? You know, my bad. I meant Supersonics. Yes. Matter of fact, the Supersonics won an NBA champion. Who do y'all remember who the head coach was of the Supersonics when they won? I'm sure you do. What's up, Ned, the Nomad? Appreciate that. Appreciate that sharing the live. Much love. David Scribbins, thanks for joining. It was Lenny Wilkins, by the way, if you didn't know. He was the head coach of that Seattle Supersonics team. Downtown Freddie Brown and all those guys was getting it done. So we got the number 1 seed, Oklahoma City Thunder, led by the NBA's MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, versus the number 4 seed coming out the East, Indiana Pacers, led by Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam. That's going to be a good matchup, man. Let's talk about the Eastern Conference Finals. It wrapped up last night. I said it was – I had picked the Knicks in 7, to be honest with you. I had picked the Timberwolves in 6. Obviously, I was wrong on both accounts. And but here we are, the Thunder and the Pacers. I think it's going to be my guy, our sub guy on TikTok says he thinks it's going to be a good one. It's going to be high scoring. I do agree with him on that. But the Pacers got it done. Took the series 4-2. They took out the Knicks last night, 125-108. They was led by Pascal Siakam. I always mispronounce his name. He was named the Eastern Conference MVP. He won that Larry Bird Trophy. He put a 31-piece on the Knicks last night. Andrew Nembhard had a great game for the Pacers as well. He had 14 points and 6 steals. And Tyrese Halliburton, he was kind of quiet the first 3 quarters, but he blew up in that 4th quarter. He ended up with 21 points, 13 assists. The Pacers forced 17 turnovers. And the Knicks, it was close the first half. The first 2 quarters, they kept it close. Again, the Pacers eventually got it done. Z1 4.5 says bear down. Yes, the Bears are going down. I'm talking to a Chicago Bears fan over here in TikTok. Brian Paul Camp, good Sunday to you. He says, I'm still shocked the Knicks lost. I'm actually not, Brian. I'm not shocked they lost. I was shocked that they actually won Game 5. I thought the Pacers were going to close this thing out, and they weren't able to get it done. But I didn't think they were going to leave Indiana with a win. I just thought Indiana was going to come out. They did come out with they came out a little nervous. I ain't going to say nervous. They just came out a little bit raggedy, I want to say. The Pacers did. They just seemed like they couldn't settle in. Nice sit up. Go Broncos. What's up, Tom Nelson? Thank you. And then, I gotta say, I gotta be for real. But I'm gonna sit up. I gotta tell the truth, guys. I'm talking to my people on TikTok. This backdrop you see is actually a steal that I'm running through my green screen. This is a Packers man cave. This is on my wish list. I wish I could get it for Father's Day, but that ain't gonna happen because that's 2 weeks away. But I am speaking it into the universe that eventually I'm gonna have a man cave that look just like this Packers man cave that I have set up through my green screen on TikTok. If you want to see it, you got to check me out on TikTok at Kendrick Henderson 51 to all my YouTube and Facebook watchers. So again, I feel like the Pacers were going to win. I didn't think this thing was going back to Madison Square Garden. I thought they was going to close it out anyway. He says, Brian says, I'm a Bengals fan, but I also like the Packers. Cheesehead also here. All right, Brian, much love to you. Appreciate the love. Yeah, we talk a little football, a lot of NFL here, but I got to talk again about the NBA Finals. So for both teams, for the Pacers, this is the first final since 2000. I'm sure a lot of you guys remember the last time they went to the finals. They met up with those Lakers led by Shaquille O'Neal and the late great Kobe Bean Bryant and Phil Jackson and all the rest of the crew. That's the last time the Pacers have been in the NBA Finals, so it's been 25 years. And it's been 13 years for the Oklahoma City Thunder. They last went to the NBA Finals in 2012, where I think they lost in 5 games to the Miami Heat, which was led by LeBron James, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, and all those guys. Appreciate the follow too, Brian. Appreciate that. I appreciate that badge too, FAE, my good man. He back in the house. I see you. So again, that's the final setup. We got, we got 2 teams that has technically the Thunder have won it. They won it as the Seattle Supersonics. But, we're going to have a new champion. No repeat. And this is going to be, I think, the 8th different NBA champ in the last, 8-9 years. It's been a while since there's been a repeat champion. So that's something new, too, for the NBA. And speaking of the NBA, I gotta talk to my Gen Z folks out there. I think it's Gen Z. I found this neat stat graphic on Yahoo Sports, by the way. And they was talking about how the Gen Zers now are taking over the NBA. All the Gen Zers. I think most of the my watchers, I want to say on TikTok, most definitely. I think most of them are Gen Zers. I think. But I did find this graphic on Yahoo Sports, and it says the average age of the Thunder is 24.6 years, and the average age of the Pacers is 26.1 years. So the birth year of the Thunder roster, most of them were born in 2000. The birth year for most of the Pacers roster is 1999. So we're going back to the 99 and the 2000. Can anybody that follow rap know what I'm talking about? Going back to the 99 and the 2000? I'm sure you know if you follow rap. I'm sure you know. Hey, what's going on, my cousins? Donna Wade, thanks for watching, cousin. We sending peace, love, and light to you as well. We believe in your healing. We definitely love you. Sending peace, love, and light to you up here in Tyler, Texas. That's Donna Wade that's watching me on Facebook. D says, bear down. Bears are going down. They need to get up from them 4 wins, D. We're going to see. But anyway, we're going back to the 99 and 2000. That was Juvenile, by the way. If you didn't know, the rap artist had one of the greatest anthems ever. One of the greatest anthems ever. Back that ass up. So anyway, I found that we'll see you 2 times. That's right. And you're gonna be in 0-2 both them times, D. But we'll see again. So as you can see, the NBA has shifted It's going. It's going more. FAE laughing at me. Appreciate the follow, Cody. A team is going to get their first championship ring, right, Mike? Appreciate that. Thanks for popping in. So as you see, the NBA is definitely more. It's a young man's league now, and I think we all known that. It's been more a young man's league due to the fact of a lot of these guys. You got the one and done started that. A lot of them, may go 2 years of college. A lot of them go straight to the G League, and then they, So again, the league is definitely shifted to more. It's a young man's league, and that's fine. I get it. It's that's kind of like all sports normally are young man's games. But I thought that was an interesting stat to talk about when it comes to the NBA now as a Gen Z league. Squints are, I'm sorry. Go Pack, go. OKC gonna win. I'm glad you brought that up. Appreciate the love too. Go Pack, go. I'm with you. Who you guys got in the NBA Finals? Again, it tips off on Thursday, this upcoming Thursday. OKC is the number 1 seed, so they got the home court advantage. So I like to know. Appreciate that. Liking the live too. Make sure you tap that screen, like the live, share this live as well. Who you guys got? Who has the advantage? I think both of these teams are explosive offensively. I do think that the Thunder can get at you a little bit more defensively, and I think they got a little bit more size. That is the Thunder, but I think this is going to be an up and down game. Pacers. Cody says the Pacers in 6. Squints R says OKC. And how many games? Squints RC. Nobody watching that final, OG. Yeah, people gonna watch. Somebody said, I was reading an article. Yeah, people gonna watch. If you like the NBA, it may not be the most watched NBA finals, but it's gonna be watched. The thing is, obviously everybody look at the market size. Obviously, OKC is a mid-sized market. Indiana's a mid-sized market. So your big markets like the LAs and the New Yorks and the Chicagos and the DF Dubs, they probably not going to watch as much of it. I would say that. But I still think you're going to have fans that's going to be watching because they just fans of the NBA. So I appreciate that follow. So I think it's going to be, again, when you talk about one of the most watched NBA finals in history, it's probably not going to be that. But I still think it's going to get eyeballs. You think that new receiver for Pat Golden going to be nice? Bandos gaming, I think so. I think we talked about this on yesterday. I think he's probably just going to, due to injuries and some other situations, he's just going to probably come in being the number 1 option by default. Obviously, Christian Watson is probably not going to be ready till sometime middle of the season, if that, because of that torn ACL. Romeo Dobbs is supposedly maybe the odd man out. Wicks, Dontavian Wicks, I don't know what he's not a number 1 guy per se. Jaden Reed is not a number 1 guy per se. So I think Golden is probably just going to be be the number 1 option just by default, like I just said. I think he's a little overrated, like Travis Hunter. No, I don't think Travis Hunter overrated. I do think, and I don't think Golden is. That thing when you got speed like that, you can do a whole lot of things. You open up a whole lot of things for your offense. I would say this about Hunter. I don't think he's overrated, but I do think he needs to put it on the little side. As far as weight, I think he's a little. For him to want to try to play both sides of the ball, which I know he's not going to play a whole lot of offense, but he's going to have to kind of physically get a little bit bigger, in my opinion, to deal with this 17 regular season game grind if you want to try to be that two-way player that he was at Colorado. Because that's not going to happen in the NFL. He ain't going to be able to play that kind of snaps like he played at Colorado. So he's going to have to put on a little bit of weight for that. And I kind of diverted and went off on another, we talking about NFL. But again, we talk NFL here. We talk all things like that. So I like your knowledge. Salute, OG. Appreciate that Bandos game. And I like you coming in and hollering at you. I want us to have a talk back, I'm just gonna give you some of the highlights of what what's happening, and we're gonna rap a taste. God says, why are the Vikings going to be the kings of the North? God, you are out of your damn mind. They are not going to be the kings of the North. They might be the peasants of the North. That might be what they are. They might be the court jesters of the North, God, but they damn sure ain't gonna be the kings of the North. because we got to see what they got with J.J. McCarthy. And then here come FAE Smack with the smack. The Bears are the kings of the North. Smack, you know what? Man, you ain't drinking. You ain't on that Henny this morning, are you, Smack? I'm messing with you, man. But I got a lot of NFC North compadres over here in my chat on TikTok, and we talk a lot of smack over here. But it is all in fun because we can't wait till the NFL season kick off. So again, I kind of talk again. The NBA Finals is set. Thunder and the Pacers. I'm looking forward to it. It tips off on this upcoming Thursday. I'm picking the Thunder in 6. I think the Thunder is going to win this thing in 6. Brett Gulke, I think I said that right, Brett. If I didn't, charge it to my head and my heart. Go, Pack, go. I'm with you, Carson Crouch. Bear down, baby. The Bears are going down, Carson. They ain't even got up yet from them 4 wins. So, yeah, they still down. You right, bear down. Yeah, we got to see if they're going to get up. So, again, can't wait to these finals. Again, first NBA Finals appearance for the Pacers since 2000, and this will be the first Finals appearance for the Thunder since 2012 when they had Kevin Durant, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and all those cats. So we're going to see. Don't speak about my Bears like that. But Bears fans over there. Now, let's move on to something a little bit more serious. I gotta get you updated on this Zion Williamson situation. You know, speaking of a guy that's come on, computer. Come on, there we go. I don't know if you guys saw the story on Zion Williamson where he has been named in a civil lawsuit by a woman that is being named in that lawsuit. She's going by Jane Doe. She is suing him. According to sources that talked to ESPN, she is suing Mr. Williamson for money between $18 million to $50 million. She's seeking punitive and monetary damages from emotional distress. She's alleged that Mr. Williamson abused her sexually, physically, and emotionally and financially over the span over a multi-year relationship that they had that began when he was at Duke. According to the 12-page civil lawsuit that was submitted in Los Angeles Superior Court on Thursday. Now, we do not know the name of the woman, but she did in a couple of instances that was named in this lawsuit. She accuses him of allegedly sexually assaulting her twice in California. The one time it happened in September of 2020, and the second time it happened in October of 2020, according to the document, according to the civil lawsuit. So we don't know the name of this woman. You know my thoughts on this. I think it's a money grab. I think it's a money grab. I'm not making light of any victim or any woman that's been a victim of sexual assault or anything like that. But for her to just not file it's a civil lawsuit. Let me make this clear. There's no criminal charges because there was not any police report filed at all against Mr. Williamson. So this is a civil lawsuit. It's about that bread. This happened, according to this lawsuit, somewhat 5-6 years ago. Again, I'm not here to victim shame any woman that's been through this because that can be a traumatic experience. But as we've seen the last couple of years, matter of fact, that we've seen a lot of these lawsuits filed against high-profile men, money and power. And so, again, I'm not here to say he's innocent nor guilty. But he is innocent until proven guilty. So there has to be more proof. My problem with this situation is this woman did not file any report of these supposed alleged incidents at all. She didn't file, but she continued to, according to this document, according to the civil lawsuit, she continued to have a relationship with Mr. Williams. That doesn't sound like anyone that's afraid, in my humble opinion. But again, hold judgment against Mr. Williamson. I'm just reporting what's out there. I'm just reporting out there, but this smells like a money grab situation to me. And again, this woman's being referred to in the civil lawsuit as Jane Doe, but I did run across a story or report on yesterday that this woman is Mariah Mills, allegedly. That hasn't been confirmed, but the complainant is Mariah Mills. Now, if that name sounds familiar to you, this is the same woman back in 2023. Her and Zion Williamson had a relationship. She was a former adult movie star, and she's put out text messages between her and Zion Williamson. And Zion Williamson did say that they had a consensual relationship back then. She put out these damning text messages against the young man right as he and his then girlfriend, I'm assuming they're still together, announced the arrival of their first child. Now, again, that hasn't been confirmed, but according to some stuff I ran across, that this Mariah Mills is the one that filed this lawsuit against Zion Williamson, seeking between $18 million and $50 million. Again, I think it's a money grab, and I hope I hope it gets thrown out. But again, Williamson, his attorneys, they came out and said they unequivocally deny any of those accusations. Matter of fact, there was a consensual relationship according to Williamson's attorneys, and they are filing a countersuit for extortion against the woman known as Jane Doe. So they're filing a countersuit too. I don't know if y'all remember, this kind of happened to Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott too. About a year or two ago, when a young lady accused him of sexually assaulting her as well, and he filed a countersuit claiming extortion, and they threw that suit out, not Prescott's, but the woman. So we'll see what happens with that. God says, "What you know about the Vikings love boat?" I have no idea, God. What's going on with the Vikings love boat? Have no idea what's up with that. All I know is the NFC North we coming. The Packers coming. That's all I know is, and we can't wait till the season get here. Speaking of some NFL news, what's the latest? Everybody is wondering about the Cleveland Browns. What's going to happen? Who's going to be the starter? Will it be Kenny Pickett? Will it be Shadur Sanders? Will it be Dylan Gabriel? Or will it be 40-year-old Joe Flacco? I mean, in my opinion, I think, once we got OTAs that's going on right now. Matter of fact, mandatory mini camps will start June 10th. We're going to start seeing who's going to start getting the most reps in these camps, these mini camps, and then training camp a month later. Who do I think should start for the Browns, start the season? I think you need to go with Kenny Pickett, see what he got. And then and then go with Shadur if it doesn't pan out. I think Joe Flacco should just be there for insurance purposes. As far as Dylan Gabriel, I think he's the odd guy out, in my opinion. God says, "What about former Minnesota Vikings, Green Bay Packers?" No, yeah, Darren Sharper. Yeah, God, I know that situation. That was crazy, wasn't it? When it came out with all he was doing, that was crazy. That was crazy. He won't see parole for a long bit. If y'all remember the situation with former Packers, Vikings, and Saints safety Darren Sharper, that was crazy. That was crazy situation. So again, that's some NFL update for the Packers. Jair Alexander, according to reports from Packers.com, he and management have come to some sort of contract negotiation, or they redoing some things. So he possibly could still be a Packer, or he could be set his contract up where the Packers could use him and trade him and get some picks. We don't know. We'll see about that. And so we'll keep you updated on that as well. Last but not least, before I get out of here, got to talk about inside the NBA. Its last broadcast was last night, the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm going to produce a segment that I'm going to post to my TikTok, as well as to Kendrick Sports Hustle, as well as TLG Sports Media. That was the last hurrah, and the MC and the host, Ernie Johnson, gave a heartfelt goodbye to TNT. That's it. The NBA on TNT is a wrap after 35 years. So I'm going to produce a segment on that. I will post that once I'm done here. Ant-Man got robbed. He cheated him big time. The NBA scammed him. Nah, Ant-Man didn't get robbed. He still got a couple of years before he get over the hump. I think Ant-Man would be fine. He's one of my favorite players. I think I think for sometimes you just got to learn. You got to fail to learn how to win. Yes, MJ is my GOAT. I would say that. I'm with you, God. Nobody can change that. Flock Viking says, do you think J.J. McCarthy is going to do good? He set a world record in OTAs. I don't know what J.J. McCarthy is going to do. I want to see him in pads. I watched a little bit of him in Michigan. I don't know what he's going to do. But, let's see when they get in these pads what he got. Big hopes for Matthew Golden. We got Ricardo. We definitely do. I think he's going to be our number one option for that. But back to the inside the NBA. So, again, Ernie, Charles, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaq, they all are it's still going to be produced out of Atlanta. It's still going to be produced out of Atlanta, but they now will be on ESPN, ABC. And a lot of the behind-the-scenes crew for Inside the NBA will be working at Amazon Prime because Amazon Prime is part of the NBA package now, as well as NBC, ESPN, and ABC. Flock Vikings says, I hope y'all do good. Me too, Flock Vikings. So, again, I am Kendrick the Sports Guy. I want to thank everybody for popping in, for watching me, especially on TikTok. Much love to you. Thanks for everybody that's chatted with me. You can catch me here every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. where we giving you the Sunday sports wrapping up the week's highlights in sports. You can also catch me on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. on my TikTok at Kendrick Henderson 51, where we wrapping the taste for a little bit, just talking sports and talking whatever else comes up. My chat on TikTok is always lively. It's always a good time with me and my folks over here on my TikTok chat. So, again, you can catch me here next Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And you can catch me this coming Saturday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time on TikTok. Make sure you set that follow button, set your notifications and all that, and we'll see you then. But before I get out of here, I have to say this. I got to dedicate this show to my uncle, George Reed, my last living paternal uncle, who celebrated his 67th born day last Sunday. And the funny thing about it is he called me and left a message telling his nephew, hey, this is your Uncle George. My birthday, I'm getting turned up, woo, woo, whoop-de-woo. So I called him back on Sunday. I said, Unc, I know it's your born day today. I said, your nephew's going to call you. I said, so I got a kick out of that. So we chatted a little bit. That was the Sunday, this past Sunday. Then on Tuesday, he was gone. My Uncle George is gone, y'all. So I lost my last living paternal uncle, my pops, who's deceased, his youngest brother. All my aunts and uncles on my paternal side are now on their peaceful journey. So I want to dedicate this show to my Uncle George. May your peaceful journey be a beautiful one. I was glad that you were able to see your 67th born day, but it's kind of bittersweet to know 2 days later you were gone. So salute, Unc. Your nephew will always love you. Hug on my uncles up there, my other uncle, my aunts, and my pops. Much love to you, Unc. And he always had a problem he would always watch me on Facebook, but he would never comment because he's like, nephew, I don't know how to work this stuff. And so, again, it's bittersweet. So I dedicate this show to my late Uncle George Reed. May you continue on your peaceful journey, and may it be a beautiful one. I'm Kendrick, the Sports Guy. You guys catch me here next Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. We'll see you on the other side and on the next report. I am out. Peace.